Ladies.
Okay, so I fall hard, and when I fall hard, like I'm like all about you. Like I see nothing, like no other guy but you, and that's all I'm worried about. So it's like I guess one of my fears is falling hard for the wrong person, because that would just be hard to recover from. And also not only that, like the being vulnerable part. As a woman, I don't really experience rejection like guys do. Like,
whoa, what is
no,
that? What does that
you know, like,
mean?
no. Okay, like as a man, like you are more likely to approach a woman than than I would be to approach a man.
Okay.
Like, and then you guys are the pursuers, right? So you're gonna like show your interest, okay? But you guys show your interest usually first to a woman, then like vice versa. That's just how it naturally happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying like you do it all the time, but I'm saying it naturally happens.
So implying that we out here getting rejected.
So I would say like being vulnerable, like it's very hard for me in general, just because I don't want to like that fear of like you thinking like, oh, it's not that deep, or like just a lot of things like you don't care or like you don't reciprocate and stuff like that. So
That's fair. That's fair. Tati.
I have a fear of someone not being genuine. Like I fall hard as well. I also am a person that doesn't really fall in love. Like a lot of people don't interest me, so it's like it takes a lot for me to like someone. And once I like someone, like I really, really like them. So I just get afraid of getting my heart broken.
How do you overcome those fears?
How do I overcome those fears?
Honestly,
I just it's just kind of just putting yourself out there. Like if you don't put yourself out there, you won't be able to see if it's gonna work or whatever. So I just like I have them, but I don't let that hold me back, if that makes sense. Like I go out, whatever. But I am in a relationship.
I mean, being in a relationship or a friendship or whatever, like you're giving that person an opportunity to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like no matter what it is, regardless if it's a friendship or a relationship, like you can still get hurt. And even like in a marriage, like you're gonna hurt each other. Like we're humans, we are always gonna disappoint each other. We're gonna hurt each other just naturally, like without bad intentions. Like it just naturally happens. So it's just like you have to just get over that fear, get out of your comfort zone, and be like, okay, I'm gonna be vulnerable anyway, because like I trust that like you're not gonna hurt me intentionally, and that we can work through this no matter what happens.
I'll respond to this. So for me, I do have some assumptions based on my previous experience. I have the assumption that I'm going to be the more, I don't like this. I have the pretense that I'm going to be more emotionally intelligent than the person that I'm dating, at least from the start.
Oh, okay.
That I'm going to be able to communicate more healthily. That's what I'm going to say. Because in all of my previous relationships, the girls that I've dated have not been at the same emotional level as I am. Either I'm more committed and I'm more open to expressing my emotions, explaining my emotions, and they are not. Or when we have, I like to say discussions, I don't believe that you have to argue to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But every single woman that I've dated has the ability to argue, raise their voice, whatever it might be, and I don't think that that's necessary or productive when you're trying to solve a problem in a relationship. So I don't wish that in the next relationship that I have, but I do anticipate that just because that's my previous experience. If I'm proven wrong, I'll be a happy man.
I guess, okay, so an assumption I have for any woman that I'm going to date is that if there's an issue you're going to bring to the table, if you have problems with what I'm doing, you'll talk about it, you ask me questions. Like because I'm not so volunteering when it comes to my emotions, my thoughts, if it's really bothering me, I'll let you know, but the little things I kind of think on them, rationalize it out, and I'm good. But
Really? Are you good?
yeah,
When I say that I'm
So
good,
you don't like sit on it?
that's another one.
And then
That's
like
another
let it
one.
I think that's the assumption that girls have about guys.
Yes.
But that's something that I've really experienced with girls. If I say that I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah.
And if I ask you to tell me that you're good,
And you say I'm good, I'm gonna have to dig.
I'm gonna take you at your
She's
word.
not good.
I ain't gonna play that game.
to ask her if she's
I
good
don't
multiple
play
times.
that
See if you
game.
care.
That's
You should know that I care. Like
You
if I'm
should
good,
know.
I care.
Okay, but if you care, why can't you just ask again?
That's okay. See,
That's
that's
another layer that's not to me.
Not
There's no
necessary.
point. What's the point? Like
There's
to me,
no
that's
point.
like
To show her you care.
why. No. Why
What's
are
the
you
point of a lot of things?
Pause. Why are you testing your boyfriend? That's the
That's
question.
not testing. That's
No,
not
that is.
testing.
No, that is.
It's just not testing. You just want to know that he cares. Like
By
it's
testing
not
him.
testing. ask multiple times, then that's maybe a problem. But like, dang, like if you ask once and then it's like I don't say anything, and then I'm like, okay, I bring it up anyway because you don't ask again. But if you ask again, then it's just like, wow, okay, he really.
The thing is, if you know that your boyfriend is someone who values transparency, someone who values honesty, if you know that if they're asking you whenever they're asking you how you feel, you know that is a genuine request.
That's true.
Why do you need to then be like, oh, I need you to like?
We need extra.
That's the wall. All
right, I got you. But I respect his opinion and his perspective because think about it. He's saying how he handles situations is completely different. Although it can be the same way, like eventually it's like when you articulate it and you communicate it, then I'm like, oh, okay, I get where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. But if the way that you're showing it, you say you're not emotional and a little bit more like, how to explain it? Like you're not gonna keep pushing it.
Probing.
Like, or what is it?
Probing.
Mm-hmm. The situation. Like, so say like, okay, for a girl, she might need you to be emotional, or she might need you, although that might not be you.
Yeah.
You know how like everybody has their needs, so it's like, or love language, so it's like,
I was saying, like,
love language. Like,
that's
it's
like
like,
conversation right there.
for me to comprehend that you care, I need you to continue to keep asking, or you know what I'm saying?
And I feel like there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. So if there's an actual issue that we need to resolve, the issue's not, oh, do you care about me? It's that's the way my brain works. Like, let's get to the root of this issue.
Mm-hmm.
If I come home, you come home from work, you're not in a great mood. Hey, you okay? Yeah, whatever. Okay, that's when I'm gonna start probing. All right, let's talk about it.
Okay, so
like,
you will.
When we're having an issue, like communication already gets muddy as is. There's no need to continue to put up barriers. Mm-hmm. So if there's an actual issue that you have with me, you're gonna have to tell us because guys, we're oblivious.
Right. Agree.
So it's like. So we're not gonna sense that, and we're not gonna dig for every single little thing. You know what I mean? So if the guy actually,
because we assume that you guys kind of know some, like that's our fault.
Yeah, that is the worst mistake.
We assume that you know where to say, like if you come home and you're like, or you're,
you
know,
think some things are obvious. Like as a girl, I'm like, oh, he should definitely know I'm upset because I'm doing X, Y, and Z.
Right?
But why do you sitting there all happy eating his food? All happy. I'm like, why are you happy?
So now I'm irritated.
Now I'm mad because you're so happy.
Yeah, see, the thing is, my frustration comes when you assume that I can read you like a book. Mm-hmm. That is where the issue comes in, because that is why communication is so imperative in a relationship, because I want to know what's wrong. I want to know what I can do to make it better. But if you want me to interpret through telepathy what's going on, that she put her pen on the left side of her plate and it's at a 95-degree angle, when she does that,
she's mad.
I know I need to bring her some chocolate or something. Nah, like let me know, hey babe, I had a trash day, can we go get some Chipotle? Ooh, that rhymed. But it's just I just really feel like it really could be that simple, and a lot of relationships are not, because you guys want us to empathize and like through empathy figure out how you feel, but we're not like.
And also that comes with time.
It comes with time.
Like that comes from years and years and years.
Years. Lord, how many years? Is
no, like
that?
like married parents. Like there are things that my dad to this day just I can sense my mom's upset and he just won't. Like in certain instances, and there's no question whether he loves her. There's no question whether he do anything in the world for her.
Yep.
Sometimes you just miss it. So she can either sit there and be all upset that he didn't notice, or she can say, okay, you missed this one. It's an actual issue. Let's talk about it.
I think my dad's one of the most attentive men I've ever met, and my mom will attest to that. But literally, my mom is the complete opposite. It's just like, it's not that she doesn't love him. It's just like it's not something that she's cute to. But again, I had to like actually sit my parents down and be like, yo, if this is something that frustrates you, Dad, tell her. Yep. And then my mom, once she actually realized it was something that actually frustrated my dad, now she actually like whenever I get a haircut, she's like, oh son, did you get a haircut? And she's like, oh babe, did you get new glasses? Because like she wants to make him happy. She wants to show that she loves him, but she can only do that if you communicate.
To me, that's the most important thing, just to verbalize whatever assumptions you may have so that people can work on it. And then if you have that baseline of respect and baseline of I care about you, I'm gonna do what I can to make you happy. When they miss it, it's not the end of the world. It's just like, okay.
So what do y'all think prevents men from pursuing long-term relationships?
There are a couple of different things. From coming from pure intentions. If you're not in a position to be everything that you should be in a relationship. So I know for me personally, like the last couple years, like I was kind of in limbo with my life. I was either getting ready to graduate or I was in a gap year. I didn't know where I was going to be after this. I wasn't going out courting anyone because I didn't know what my life was going to look like. I didn't know whether I would be committing to something that I wouldn't later be able to see through. If that makes sense. And I think as we're constantly changing, as we're constantly learning more about ourselves, we're going off places, we're getting jobs, we're going to school. For me personally, that has prevented me in the past from pursuing long-term relationships. And I think also it goes into the fears that we talked about earlier that prevent us or can hinder us in a relationship. I think that can sometimes prevent us from getting a relationship in the first place. And then also, when that's not the case, they probably just don't want you, honestly.
Yeah.
If we're being real.
Keep it real, my dog. Keep it real.
Like, if we're being real, so...
No,
that's real. That's real. Like, I know everybody, a lot of people have probably had that scenario where, you know, you're talking to somebody, you're feeling somebody, and then, you know, it gets cut off.
Not that interested.
There's not interested. Then you see them pop up like 2 months later in a relationship, it just wasn't you, and that's okay. And I think it's very important for us to learn to be okay with that. Not everybody's going to be for you. Rejection isn't always bad. It hurts, but I'd rather get rejected up front than be in a relationship with somebody for 3 years and then realize that, you know, it's completely toxic. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have self-sabotage a few times where I saw something that could have been good, but because of my own personal, where I was at in life, either where I was at in life or where I was at my personal growth / maturity, I was not ready to take those next strides, which I'm human. We have to have room to grow. And I think that's definitely a thing for a lot of guys who are at least self-aware enough to know that they're not ready for that next stage. For me, at least I was transparent about that. A lot of guys will just make excuses or just leave, or they'll cheat to give themselves an excuse to leave. Long-term relationships, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about, it's a lot to invest in, and sometimes it's just easier not to do it. So sometimes we just leave.
So I have a quick question. Do you guys feel as though you guys need to be set financially or in a career path to then want to court a woman?
To marry, yes. To court, no.
Okay,
Greg and I, this is one thing Greg and I differ on.
We talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
So I say it depends on the stage of life that you're in. For when you're courting, it depends. So if I'm not really trying to be in a long distance relationship, that's not something I really want to do. I'm not going to get in a relationship at a time where I could potentially move across the country, or you're about to graduate and go off somewhere else. So that's me knowing myself, knowing my personal boundaries. So that's where I think you would need to be set. Financially, I think if you're courting at our big age, like as adults, I think it is important for you to at least know what's going on. My parents got married the day they graduated. Like, they have a very unique story. So coming up, I was always So like my dad was in med school, my mom was working. So like they were struggling together. So like I always saw that was like my baseline. So like, oh, that's beautiful. That's what I want. Now knowing myself, I don't know if that's really what I would want.
Okay.
Interesting. Perspective has changed.
So you did want that.
Yeah, I did want that, because to me it's like, oh, that's beautiful. You start from the bottom,
they're growing with that person.
But then the older I get, the more real conversations I've had with them, I realize just how hard that is. And I think for the right person, I don't think I would not marry the love of my life because I'm not financially secure yet. But when it comes to courting, I think you still need to have some kind of financial stability. At least you know where your next meal's coming from. You have a place to stay. Like, that's the baseline.
At this point in my life, it's kind of how you learn a lot from your parents, and I'm basically a carbon copy of my father in almost every sense of the word. And my dad told me from jump, like, before you marry someone, you need to be able to take care of her, like, period. And even though this is a different society now where we have like both men and women working all sort of stuff, it's still for me a very important thing that if we were in whatever situation, I would be able to take care of my wife, because I feel like that's a big part of a husband's responsibility. And if I don't have a plan for myself or for us as a unit, I feel like it's irresponsible for me to ask your parents, hi, can you give me your daughter so we can just go off and like figure things out over here? I want to be able to go to my future wife's parents and be like, yo, this is what I'm doing, this is what I intend to do, and this is where your daughter will be with me. And I feel like I can't do that if I don't have my own self to do.